From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN Noon News.
And good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on the Noon News on this St. Patrick's Day in Montana. I'm Andrea Lutz. Well, today in Uptown Butte, St. Patrick's Day celebrations aren't what they have been in recent years. But that's not stopping folks from enjoying the Irish heritage and tradition that's been in place in the mining city for decades, as we know. Okay, so we are going to go check in with MTN's John Amy. He is live for us in Butte this afternoon. You know, it's a different vibe there, but there is still a lot going on. John.
Aaron Gobra, everybody, it's Salancha. I'm John Amy here in Butte, Montana. And what is it? Is it St. Patrick's Day, people? We're here. We're kicking it off right here with the Anaconda's Pipe and Drum Band. They're going to get this celebration started in Butte. There may be a pandemic, but we don't care. We're still going to celebrate in Butte. Guys, please check. St. Patrick's Day in Butte, folks. This is where it's at. There's no parade, but people are still out on the streets. They're going to celebrate as best they can because, hey, it's Butte, guys. Check them out. Back to you.
All right, John, thanks so much. They sound fantastic this year. And of course, as John kind of alluded to, it's a little bit different in Butte this year and at St. Patrick's Day. Of course, that parade was canceled last year in 2020 due to the pandemic, but organizers also calling off the parade this year too. Of course, they're still encouraging people as they celebrate this year to wear those masks and social distance during the celebrations. We also reported yesterday that the police in Butte are going to be helping kind of keep people a little bit distant there. All right, we're going to check in with Butte a little bit later today, but you might have a little luck of the Irish on this St. Patrick's Day. About 33 million Americans will celebrate their Irish heritage. That's 5 times the number of people that actually live in Ireland. Okay, so here's another big story of the day. Today is payday for millions of Americans for paying that last round of stimulus checks from the federal government. Some people reported seeing that $1,400 stimulus payment pending as a transaction in their banks. Some already receiving that money, but funds will transfer from the government to banks and credit unions today. If you haven't, those institutions have a set amount of time to make funds available. In exactly 2 weeks, all Montanans 16 and older will be eligible for the COVID-19 vaccine. The governor says the state has achieved its goal of getting vaccines to the most vulnerable population first. And state leaders will take these new 2 weeks to work with local health departments and pharmacies in order to dole out a higher volume of shots beginning on April 1st. COVID-19 was the 3rd leading cause of death in Montana in 2020. The virus is to blame for about 9% of total deaths, but heart disease and cancer took more Montana lives. Almost 75% of COVID-19 related deaths were residents 70 and older. It has been a dangerous year so far on Montana's highways. Since January, 45 people have died in 41 separate crashes. That's more than double the number of crashes from this time last year, 3 times more than in 2019. Montana law enforcement points to winter weather as a factor in the increase. Today, the judge in the trial of a Minneapolis police officer accused in the death of George Floyd says he's going to speak to the jurors about fairness in the case. Derek Chauvin is charged with 2nd and 3rd degree murder for kneeling on Floyd's neck. The judge wants to know if a settlement between the family and the city will impact a juror's ability to be fair. He'll also consider moving the trial to another city. In Billings, the murder trial of a Laurel man accused of killing Lori Bray continues. Prosecutors used 24-year-old Diego Hernandez's clothes as evidence that links him to the crime. and security footage showing Hernandez getting into a car with Bray, the last time that she was seen alive. We are in day 3 of that trial. Montana's tribal leaders are celebrating Deb Haaland as she takes the role of Interior Secretary. She's the first Native American cabinet secretary. Leaders with the Blackfeet tribe say it's an important step to build relationships.
Perhaps visiting personally or inviting tribal leaders to come see her or vice versa, her coming out to see them and giving her that list of what we would like, the wish list that all tribes have, wanting to see what the priorities are in each community, as of course education, housing, healthcare, economic development, employment opportunities, just to name a few.
Haaland says her confirmation is an important step for all Montanans. All right, so Glacier National Park officials are seeing some challenges as they look ahead to the upcoming tourism season, so they're trying to plan ahead. MTN's Sean Wells tells us more about a proposed ticket entry system into the park.
Glacier National Park are set to host a discussion Thursday regarding challenges ahead of the upcoming busy season.
All that visitation that came through in the west entrance caused us about having to close the west entrance or closures on the west side about 25 times.
Glacier National Park Superintendent Jeff Mao says park officials are hosting a virtual community discussion Thursday night to talk about the challenges the park may face this upcoming busy season. One topic Mao says the park is discussing is a proposed ticket entry system to help avoid congestion at the park's entrance, which caused major delays and closures last summer.
The concept of ticketed entry, people know they'll get into the park, and with ticketed entry, we won't actually have to have any closures at the west entrance.
Mao says the discussion will cover a range of topics from park visitation numbers, COVID-19 mitigation plans, and more. He says park officials are excited to gather community input before they make any final decisions.
We know that the broader community has a strong interest in this as well, and so we wanted to provide that opportunity.
Mao expects a final decision on the proposed ticket entry system to be made by the end of the month. At Glacier National Park, Sean Wells, MTN News.
So that virtual meeting will be held on Zoom Thursday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Okay, so we do have more ahead on today's new news on this St. Patrick's Day, including this. We are checking in with a Montana woman who has made it big in her career, but never forgetting those Montana roots. We've got her story. It's coming up. But first, we've got Miller Robson in with a look at your statewide weather forecast.